Hello, I'm Nolan from paintbasket.com. One of my students has asked me how to draw cornrows. Now, drawing cornrows and dreadlocks must be one of the parts of drawing faces and portraits that people avoid like the plague because they simply don't know how. Yet it's really not that difficult. There's 3 little steps that we need to draw cornrows, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Here's the photo that Val's working from. Before we can start drawing the little boy's hair, we need to know how it looks from up close. As you can see, the cornrows are basically nothing more than a series of plaits that form a pattern. When hair is plaited, we get 3 different areas that we need to draw. The first is the exposed scalp. Because the head is round, we need to continue the shading of the skin in these areas. We'll then get highlighted and shadowed areas which correspond to the same tones that we've used in the face. Then there are the areas where the hair is pulled towards the plait. Looking closely, we see that the individual strands of hair converge where they meet the plait. Lastly, we have the plait itself. Drawing the plait is a series of shadings from light to dark. We also often find that the plait has a highlighted and shadowed side because of its height. Now let's go back to our little boy and see if we can recognize these 3 areas. Yep, there they are. Scalp, pulled hair, and the plaits. Luckily for us, the photo has been taken at a distance, so all the detail is lost. We only need to suggest the detail. Now let's move over to our drawing and do this thing. You can see that I have a maze of lines drawn in. I've marked out the areas of scalp as well as the cornrows. To make sure I don't get confused, I keep my finger on the same area on the reference photo. That way I always know where I am on the drawing. Working from bottom to top as usual, I start by shading in the areas of exposed scalp. Here we have to make sure the scalp color starts off the same as the forehead color, and then shades to the correct color at the back of the head. Sometimes you have to look very carefully to see the correct shade. In this drawing, the sun is on our left, so the scalp on the right is darker than on the left hand side. With the scalp shaded in, it becomes easier to see what goes where. Next up are the pulled strands of hair. Use a short flicking motion from the root to the tip of the hair. Remember that the individual strands of hair converge as they meet the cornrows, so do the same with your flicks. By doing this, you'll already start to get a feel for the edges of the cornrows. You can see I start off lightly just to get a feel for the hair and to get myself into a rhythm because I still have lots of cornrows to go. Now I can suggest the cornrow itself. Starting at the shadow side, I scribbled in the shadows of the plaits, curling them up and over the plait. This creates the height of the cornrow. I do the same at the opposite side of the cornrow, being careful to leave highlights on the top. I have a good feel for the cornrow now, so I darken the strands of hair to match his hair color. Maybe it's time we zoomed in to take a closer look at the cornrows. Here's the broader shadow side, narrow shadows on the sun side, then the up and over strokes which give us the highlights and shadows of each plait. And here you can see the converging strands of hair that get narrower and darker as they meet the cornrow. Okay, now let's finish off the cornrows so we can see what the completed hair looks like. So there you have it, Val. Not so difficult after all. Looking forward to seeing your final drawing on the forum. If you've got a drawing or painting that you're busy battling with, why not post it on the forum and let's see if we can take a look at it for you. I'm Nolan from paintbasket.com.